What's good, Facebook? This your boy Just Justin, the champ. I'm here on the Nothing But Sports show on the NBS brand. I'm joined by my co-host, my guest here this week. It's normally True X Sports Junkie and Keo, but they can't make it tonight. Hopefully, we see him next week. But I got two special guests, two guys who really know what they're talking about. Two guys that are no stranger when it comes to the NBS brand, but they're part of their own brand. They're part of the Rise Up family. I got my boy Dre from Rise Up, the fire starter.
What's good? What's good?
And I got my boy Mr. Betts from Rise Up also. They do their own.
Y'all like that white on white, don't you? You like that white on white? Marcus Alphabets up in the house representing the Alphabets football show with the Rise Up family with my lovely co-host Ramona Diehard. We do a football show on Friday nights, and I got the invite, so I thought I'd cover down and come up in here and represent, man. I hope everybody's doing good this evening.
Definitely. Well, let's get right into it. I mean, I know tonight is the World Series, the start of the World Series. We'll get to that toward the end of the show, but, the biggest topics in sports this week is the NFL. It was a crazy week this week. We had a lot of surprises. We had the Bengals blowing out the Ravens. We had the Chiefs losing again, getting blown out. I mean, with a lot of different surprise results. But let's get to this coming Thursday night. We had the Packers playing Arizona, but they're without Davante Adams because he has been enlisted on the COVID deactivation list for this coming week. Is that too much of a blow for the Packers to do anything with the Cardinals, or what do you think could happen?
It's not just it ain't just Davante Adams.
Hey, Marcus the Alphabets. This is my team, sir. This is my team, sir. Your team was on a bye, sir. My team was not my team, sir.
They had their bye. They played this week. We played the Vikings. Go ahead.
That's right. Y'all do. Y'all play the Vikings. No. You know I love my bro here, of course, but they do. He was about to mention something that is very important. They have not only Davante Adams on the COVID list, but Alan Lazar is also on the COVID list. So they're both on the COVID list. Two of the top wide receivers is on the COVID list. Is that too much for them? No, it's never too much for Aaron Rodgers. But at the same token, Aaron Rodgers has not had the greatest success against Arizona the last couple of years. So what I'm going to say is this one could be an L in the column for the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to be very real. I'm not going to be biased. It could be an L for them boys. If that defense don't show up, it could be an L. It surely could be an L.
No doubt. Jalen Smith, they just picked up Jalen Smith. Who's the pass rusher? Who's the pass rusher they just got to?
Whitney Merciless.
Whitney Merciless from the Texans, and picked up Jalen Smith. They're going to have to do that, and I think they're really going to have to lean on my boy, Aaron Jones, and they brought in the offseason, they brought in Randall Cobb. I think this is a Randall Cobb, Robert Tonyan game. I think NBS is on IR too. So you talk about Equimania St. Brown. They're gonna have to rely on some people that they hadn't really had to rely on for this game. I think more running game, some dump offs to Aaron Jones and Robert Tonyan. They're really gonna have to step it up in this game because the Cardinals are firing on all cylinders right now. Last undefeated team.
Definitely. I mean, I think the Packers are going to have a lot on their hands without Davante Adams. But at the end of the day, as long as Aaron Rodgers is on that field, you can't count him out. That's a bad dude with bad intentions. So I'm never going to count him out.
Muscle man.
Bad man.
He's a bad man.
He rises up when the occasion is needed. He rises up.
I need Amari Rodgers to step up this game too. He been kind of AWOL, man. Some of these young kids out there. Look, man, it's an opportunity. We saw last week. We saw in the Browns game. We saw the kid the kid coming here, third, fourth string running back coming there. The Ernest Johnson, we saw him. You have to look at that as an opportunity to come in there. Normally you wouldn't get that much PT. This is your opportunity. This is your time to shine. Prime time game, the only show in town. This is your chance, man. This is your chance to step up and show why they took a chance on you.
Definitely. I mean, who do y'all have in this game? I have the Cardinals.
I have the Cardinals as well. They're just firing on all cylinders, and then for them to pick up a guy like Zach Ertz from the Eagles, just another weapon to go along with, D-Hop and A.J. Brown and Rondell Moore and James Conner. And I mean, they're just, and then, what Kyler can do to you with his arms and legs. So I just look now, if the Packers were at full strength, I would be a little bit, I think it would be a little bit closer. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out there and have a good game. But, I just think that's too much firepower to overcome.
All right. I do have to say this. Go ahead, Dre. Go ahead.
I want to mention Aaron Rodgers, when Devontae Adams has not played, is undefeated. I want to mention that. Aaron Rodgers is undefeated when Devontae Adams has not played in games. Go look it up if you want.
I think you see a lot.
Yeah. I suspect Green Bay to come out and punch Arizona in the mouth. They're not going to just lie down in this game. If you think that Green Bay is going to lie down because those two are out, you got another thought coming. I really think that Green Bay, this is going to be get the monkey off of Aaron Rodgers' back, regardless if these two are not playing. I think they're going to go full steam ahead in this game. A lot of 21, 22 personnel like they did against Atlanta. That defense is actually going to get tested this week, regardless of Devontae Adams is not playing or if he was. That defense is going to get tested this week by Green Bay. You got a great offensive play calling organization out there in Wisconsin. We're going to see. This is going to be closer than most people think. I have to be loyal to the Green Bay Packers and say that the Packers could very well give the Arizona Cardinals the Green Bay versus Dallas Cowboys feel in this one.
Ooh.
No pun intended. Sorry, Marcus.
Ooh.
All right, with Dalton, one of our viewers asked the questions, would the Cardinals go 17-0? I have to say, hell no. The Cardinals, as far as I'm concerned, they're the Pittsburgh Steelers of last year, who went 11-0 and really wasn't an 11-0 team. Like I get Arizona's playing lights out right now, but they're not.
They're done this week.
Well, I don't want to call them fraudulent. Let's not forget week 1 they came out and beat the brake dust off of the Titans, and we saw what the Titans just did to the Bills. So it's
the Titans lost to the Jets.
But you see what I'm saying? So it's like it's not. I don't think that they're. I also understand you have to take there were certain mitigating factors, and I don't do hypotheticals, but when you're missing your top 2 pass rushers, and it's just like we just got to stop Derrick Henry. There's no AJ Brown. There's no Julio Jones. It's like, come on, man. They're just loading the box. They're like, okay, we got to stop Derrick Henry. So I mean, you got to look at stuff like that.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's go to one of the biggest topics this week is, Patrick Mahomes struggling in Kansas City now. He did get hit very hard, almost got a concussion. But is it time to hit the panic button on the Chiefs?
Look, man.
Oh, I want to hear what a certain person, I'm not gonna say his initials, Marcus Betts, has to say about this one.
Look, man, the Super Bowl hang. The Super Bowl hang. Look, it's sometimes when you lose, it's the way that you lose. It's the way that you lose sometimes. In the Super Bowl, the Chiefs got roughed up. They got beat up in the Super Bowl. He got Patrick Mahomes beat. Yes.
I want you to say the Chiefs got the boot smoked off of them this week.
They got the boot smoke. They got free dental work. They got their teeth.
Yes.
They got their teeth. They got their teeth. They got look. Here's the thing about it. When you're Patrick Mahomes is a gunslinger, he throws the ball all over the place. And normally in years past, he's gotten away with it because they're putting up even with him making mistakes, they're scoring 45 points a game. And you just outscore everybody. Sure. Now they're not able to score, and then you got people having dropsies. They're dropping the ball. They're making uncharacteristic mistakes, and you can't do that. You can't give Derrick Henry extra carries. You can't do. And then their defense. Oh, their defense is garbage dumpster juice, man.
Yeah. Not
just regular garbage. They're like the bottom of the trash can dumpster juice. And I mean, you can't overcome that. Then Patrick Mahomes has to learn to live to fight another day. And a lot of times, whenever you have early success, it's hard to coach somebody up on stuff because it's like, well, we're still winning. And like I was telling you earlier, when you're winning cures everything. People just kind of forget, when a guy throws it up in the triple covers and then the wide receiver comes down with it. Normally you would tell them don't do that, but we won the game. So, cool. But those mistakes now are starting to multiply. He's turning the ball over, and then their offensive line is still not gelling yet, and he's taking like hits. I don't think that they've ever really went and found him a legit number 2 receiver. Kelsey's kind of been the number 2 receiver, but it's just like take Tyreek Hill out the game. That's it. We're going to take Tyreek Hill out the game. CEH is out. He's been hurt. So it's just like he's trying to, and teams are saying, we're not going to let you beat us with Tyreek Hill. We're going to give him bracket coverage, nothing deep, keep everything underneath and tee off on Patrick Mahomes. And they're following the blueprint from the Super Bowl. That's all they're doing. They're doing the same thing that the Bucs did to them in the Super Bowl.
What you got, Dre?
Hello? What's your emergency? Hi, I'd like to report hazardous materials being floated around my environment. Yeah, can you describe the hazardous waste? Yeah, watching the Chiefs defense this week against the Tennessee Titans. Is there a way we can clean this up and get this cleaned up? Usually you guys pick up waste on Monday. Well, we need you to come pick up the waste early. Is there a way you can do that? Sure, no problem, Mr. Robinson. All right, thank you. Have a good day. Bro, if you don't get this Dookie defensive team playing, Patrick Mahomes, I done got witnessed and watched on all cylinders, on all tapes, cassettes, DVDs, and everything else. This team is in trouble. Big trouble. Big trouble. This is gonna get ugly. The season is gonna get ugly. I was one who said that yeah, Patrick Mahomes, are you still good from that surgery you had, sir? Are you okay? I mean, I'm looking at you. You're throwing balls in the ground. You're overthrowing receivers. Yeah, is it Super Bowl fever? Are you having Super Bowl fever? Is it hay fever? You mad because the Bucs beat the brake dust off you? I think it's a lot of things. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's an offensive line trying to gel that hasn't played together very much. They got tape. I mean, I told you on all platforms. They got him on Apple. They got him on Apple, Anchor. They watching him on all platforms right now, Patrick Mahomes. He ain't getting away with nothing. The run game is just abysmal. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is injured. Patrick Mahomes was the lead in rusher last week. I mean, come on. And then the defense is just god-awful. Hey, Honey Badger, when's the last time you seen the defense this bad? Well, damn, it wasn't in LSU. Oops. I mean, high school maybe? High school? Yeah. All right. You know what? Just let me know how that gets. Let me know what Andy Reid has for that. Being the offensive mind with Eric Bieniemy. I need to know what's going to happen on defense. Are they going to change up the philosophy in the next couple of weeks? I mean, you just let me know. I'm here. 716-481-8249. You got my number on speed dial. All right. Now,
it's
that's how I feel about the Chiefs.
It's tough. Again, before they would just outscore everybody. They were just out. It's like, okay, we're just going to outscore you. Well, now they're not scoring points. So it's just bad. It looks really, really bad. No consistent running game. No number two. They drafted Mecole Hardman to be their number two. He hasn't really panned out. They went and got Sammy Watkins before. He didn't really pan out. DeMarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle, all them guys. None of them guys have panned out. You spent the first round pick on Mecole Hardman, and he really hasn't been that consistent threat on the other side of now they brought in Josh Gordon. I mean, it's like they're desperate, to get another guy on the other side of Hill, because teams are just saying, we're not going to let you beat us with Tyreek Hill. We're just going to play cover 3, cover 4, and you're going to have to, whatever you do, you're going to have to do it all underneath. And then they can't run the ball. It should be a perfect opportunity to run the ball because they're playing deep to keep Tyreek Hill from making a big play, but then they can't run the ball either. So it's a recipe for disaster.
Definitely. Like the
Can I ask you a question, Justin, real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say the Chiefs is the worst team in their division right now?
Woo. I mean, it's hard to argue against it.
I still think it's the Broncos. Because the Broncos quarterback situation is atrocious, man. Between Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock, they're just. But that's all they're missing though. If they ever go out, in the offseason before, they were talking about Aaron Rodgers going to Denver. They still have not thought. For all of John Elway's greatness on the field, he has been, besides the Peyton Manning acquisition, abysmal at drafting and bringing in quarterbacks. That brings us that gives us names. I'll give you some names, some fan favorite names out there: Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler. It's like, come on, dude. They've been really, really bad at bringing in quarterbacks since Peyton Manning retired. They've had a really hard time, and even before that, Tim Tebow, they had a really tough time bringing in quarterbacks. They've got weapons. They've got Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick and Noah Fant, and I like the kid Javonte Williams, and Melvin Gordon's still there, but they don't have a trigger man. All them weapons, and they don't have a trigger man. So we'll see what happens. I don't think they're the worst. I think the Broncos are because of their quarterback situation, but their defense is good. Go ahead.
Ramona makes a great point. I was about to bring it up. I had this discussion a couple years ago when it happened, when Patrick Mahomes got that huge contract, $500 million contract.
That was just last year.
Last year.
That was
I knew it was going to catch up to him eventually. The thing is, like Mike Wilbon calls it, the dynasty of one. The Chiefs, everybody's been talking about the Chiefs is going to have this huge dynasty, but you got to win more than one championship to be considered a dynasty.
Yeah, you got to.
People are like Andre said, people are watching tape on him, and Mahomes is trying to be too cute out there. He's out there trying to do these no-look passes like he did in the past, and he needs his wife and his brother on TikTok and Twitter is distracting him. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but ever since his brother has been dancing on the sideline on TikTok, they haven't won a home game since.
Yeah.
Coincidence? I don't know.
Well, I say this all the time. When you a lot of these young quarterbacks, and me and my co-host, we talk about this on the show sometimes. You look at some of these older players that take pay cuts. Look, you want to be the highest paid player in the league? Fine. But understand this, when I'm giving you 20% of my salary cap, that limits what else I can do. We got the highest paid tight end, we got one of the highest paid wide receivers, we got the highest paid quarterback. And then they went out and made a trade for the the linemen. Like all of their money is on the offensive side of the ball. So then there's only so much pie to go around. So you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. And a lot of these young quarterbacks, they could learn a lot from Tom Brady, who has consistently taken pay cuts so that the team can build a team around him. You want to get paid $50 million a year? Fine. I can't pay that left tackle. I can't go get you a wide receiver. We don't have no corners on defense, and you just got to ride with that. You take a pay cut, let the team, look, I'm going to take a pay cut, but I need y'all to put some pieces around me. How much is Tom Brady making right now with for him, it's about championships. You see what Ben Roethlisberger's doing. I think Ben Roethlisberger's making like $17 million this year. $17 million. When you're asking for 45, 46, $50 million, it limits what I can do to you, to surround you with. So, and if not, then the most of the team better be on rookie contracts like Dallas. Like Dallas, their whole defense is rookies. Their whole defense is rookies. So you you want to get paid this money? Understand that I'm limited. It's like you go buy your wife, hey, honey, I want this $500,000 home. Okay, baby, then we got to eat sardines and crackers for dinner every night because I'm making a $3,000 a month mortgage payment. So you pick what we're gonna do.
I don't know if I'm experiencing technical difficulties or someone else is, but a lot of this is lagging. But let's off to our next question about the Bengals. We got Joe Burrow out there lighting it up with Jamar Chase as a rookie this year. He's probably going to be rookie of the year. There are 5-2? Actually, the number one seed in the AFC right now. If the playoffs started today, they would get the bye. Are the Bengals for real, or is it too early?
Well, they've had two impressive victories. You look at, their win over the Steelers, and then, they really manhandled the Ravens this week. You have to say that they're at least the best team in the AFC. Look, Jamar Chase is
Marcus the alphabet. I got to do it again. I got to do it again to you. Marcus, I want you to say the Baltimore Ravens got the boots.
They got their boots
off of them.
Free dental work. They did. They did.
One other thing. Are you giving the Putty Cat some respect now, sir?
Look, I'm from Missouri, the show me state. You got to show me stuff. I don't deal with the they got great potential. You got to show me. We've seen a lot of teams that look good on paper. You got to do it on the field. The Bengals are looking very impressive. They have a dynamic offense. I don't know how good their defense is all right, but their offense is dynamic because when you play them, you have to play. You have to play the whole field. They can smash and dash with you. They can run the ball with Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine, or on the outside they got Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd. They got and T. Higgins. It's like and let me tell you who's showing up and better get some. When they start talking about some of the better tight ends in the league. CJ Uzomah, the tight end, that boy, he's doing work too. So, hey, man, we got to start giving these boys some props after these two victories that they've had.
Yeah, I will say this. Joe Burrow's put up over 400 yards, 303 touchdowns. Jamar Chase handling business. Jamar Chase doing his thing. I'm going to apologize to Jamar Chase first and foremost because I was one who said that Jamar Chase might have a little issue in the NFL, being the top 5 pick. I thought they should have got Penei Sewell, but that didn't happen. Where's my guy Justin, man? It didn't sound like it was lagging at all. I don't know if did you hear that? I didn't hear any lagging. I was listening to it on the other end too, but I'm listening to the Bengals. They want to know, are they for real? I'm listening to the Bengals. The Bengals is making noise right now. For real. In real life, they making noise.
No doubt.
So I think they're for real. I think you better be careful.
No doubt about it. I mean, we see some of the teams out there, who would have thought, Dre? Who would have thought the two number one seeds right now would be the Arizona Cardinals and the Bengals? You could have made a lot of money. You could have made a lot of money in Vegas. You could have made a lot of money.
Yeah, I need to know what's the odds on that. I definitely want to know what the odds on that is. It's got to be. It's got to be like 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah,
there he is.
If anybody would have told you at the beginning of the season that the Arizona Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bengals would be the number 1 and number 2 seed, the number 1 seeds for the respective conference, no one would have believed. You would have made all kind of money in Vegas. Rocco, I would have had to send Rocco some money, man, to place a wager for me in Vegas, man.
Absolutely. Justin is back. What's up, Justin?
Your mic is off, fam.
Can you hear me?
We hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Sorry. I guess I'm experiencing technical difficulties here in Texas. The weather's kind of bad, but I'm gonna continue this and see how it goes. But we have a couple more topics left. Let's get to college football, because college football is also crazy week this week. We had Oklahoma pulling it off against Kansas. They were down by double digits for a lot of the game, but they had to come back and beat the sorry Kansas Jayhawks to continue to be undefeated. And then we had Penn State losing in overtime. And I don't remember 7 overtimes, I think it was. What is the bigger deal? Penn State losing in overtime, or Oklahoma needing a comeback to beat Kansas, a 1-win team?
Marcus, you want this one, or you want me to jump on it?
I'll jump on the Oklahoma side. Because that's my neck. That's my neck of the woods. Listen, when you're one of the premier college football teams in America, you have to understand that most weeks teams are going to give you their best shot. For Kansas, this is like the national championship for them. That's what it's like. You remember a few years ago we saw Appalachian State beat Michigan? We remember that? It happens. You have these teams, they come out, they don't have anything to lose, and they use this. We were just talking about recruiting, with Urban Meyer. Hey, we beat Oklahoma. We hung in there with Oklahoma. We're building a program here. Come to Kansas. You'll get to play in the Big 12. You get to play against these powerhouse teams, and you're going to take teams' best shot. And we just talked about Kansas City. The difficulties that they're having. Same difference. Every time people play the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to come out there and give them their best shot. These guys are a 2-time AFC champions. They've been in the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. We're going to go out there and it's a measuring stick game for us. So I'm not surprised at all.
Penn State losing last week to Iowa was the kick in the butt for Penn State. I don't think the 7 overtimes loss was the biggest kick in the butt. The biggest kick in the butt came the week before for them after being a top 5 ranked team. We thought Penn State was going to pull through. Don't you just want the whiteout team? Don't you want Penn State to finally be in a national championship playoff picture? Don't you just want it? And it's gone. Just that quick. It's over. Gone. Spencer Rattler, by the way, is not the Heisman Trophy winner. I want people to stop saying that right now. He is not. Okay? Give up that Oklahoma bias. He's not. Okay? That Boomer Sooner mess. He's not the Heisman Trophy winner. Cut it out. I don't want to hear his name again. Until he puts up great performances back to back, I don't want to hear his name anymore. I'll make a song out of it. Maybe I could get the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to draw up a nice little song, get some violins and horns in there. Spencer Rattler is not the Heisman winner. All right, I'm gonna stop right there, okay? Because I will run everybody off the show because I can't sing a lick. I knock a door off a hinge trying to sing. But nevertheless, I don't want to hear y'all singing his praises no longer. All right? It's over. It's over. The biggest deal is Oklahoma right now, though.
All right. Well, once again, I'm still experiencing technical difficulties, so I couldn't understand most of what was said. But I'm going to go ahead and give my take. Hopefully, I'm not repeating a lot of what you said, but I think it is Oklahoma also. I think this whole Spencer Rattler situation is really getting out of hand in Oklahoma, with them benching a Heisman hopeful at the beginning of the year and having to put in, the number one, recruit in the nation this year. It has really been a lot of turmoil in Oklahoma, and it shows. It shows that they don't have their stuff together. If they can't beat Kansas. I mean, I don't care how great smaller schools will play up to these bigger schools. If you can't beat Kansas, you have no chance against a power team like Alabama or Georgia when it comes to making the playoffs. Yes, they might still make the playoffs, but they're not going to do anything with Georgia or Alabama or anybody of that, caliber if they can't beat a Kansas team handily. Is it the right decision with the host Rattler thing? I'm not sure. I've always been a Spencer Rattler fan. I don't like his attitude, but I do like his play. So time will tell. I think he will transfer. I don't see him staying in Oklahoma, and I certainly don't see him going into the draft this year. I couldn't imagine somebody drafted him after him just being on the bench for most of the season. So at this point, I think he will transfer. We'll see where he goes, where he transfers. I hope Oklahoma's happy with their new quarterback, because I think they'll be stuck with them for at least a year or two. But once again, I do think it's Oklahoma the bigger deal. Penn State, I didn't feel like had a chance to win a national championship. I know they had an opportunity to make the playoffs, but I didn't see them as any of a threat. I did see Oklahoma as a threat before this game. Now, I don't know. But you never know. We do have people like Cincinnati being number 2 this week. So you never know this year what could happen in college football. All right. Well, speaking of college football, we had a kind of a funny outtake. Those of y'all who watch a lot of sporting news, Mike Tomlin was asked in a press conference this week if he would be interested in taking the USC job. I wish I had the clip here on the air, but it was a pretty funny take. He said, "Never ask me that again. Other coaches of my caliber aren't being asked that, and this will be the last time I take that question." But we're gonna answer that question today. Should Mike Tomlin even consider USC if they pick up the phone and make a phone call to him?
Hey, I got this.
Marcus. Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
I got this. And I usually don't like to speak for my. I don't usually like to speak for my co-host Ramona Diehard. She's a big time Steelers fan. Listen, no. I'll say it in Spanish. No, I'll say it in Russian. Yet, it's not happening. It's not Look, there's 32 NFL jobs. Okay, 32. There's only 32 of them. They ain't playing football in Europe. They're not playing football in Africa. They're not playing football in Antarctica or Australia. They are, but not quite like our football. There's only 32 jobs in the league unless you want to go to Canada and coach to the CFL. He is the coach of a cornerstone franchise. The Pittsburgh Steelers are iconic. I say this out there, an iconic brand, an iconic franchise. Why in the hell would I want to go from that to going to USC with 18-year-old kids and being a babysitter basically? When Mike Tomlin's from Newport News, Virginia, okay? He's an East Coast guy. He's like a drive to go home to Newport News. You were telling him to move across country and start his whole life over. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they hire their coaches and their coaches stay there. That's what happens. 3 coaches, 60 years. That's what they've done. 24 years, Chuck Noll, 14 years, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin's been there for 14 years. They don't leave. He's not going anywhere. It's an insult, like he said. You don't hear them asking Bill Belichick, or Pete Carroll, who actually was a pretty good coach. The person who you need to be asking is Urban Meyer, because he's not a good NFL coach. He's not a good NFL coach. Why don't you call Urban Meyer and ask him if he wants to go? This man, I don't think that they give him the respect that he deserves. It's an insult. It's a slap in the face. And to make a long story short, hell no, it ain't happening. And that's it. It's not happening. Dre?
I want to bring back an old school song back in the day that used to. I told you I don't really like to sing on shows. I really can't sing because I knock a door off the hinge. But hail to the now, to the now. I said hail to the now. First and foremost, number one, Marcus, you couldn't have drew that up better. Justin, this was a hell of a question, and I'm glad you brought it up. Number one, if you did not ask
Bill Belichick.
What's his name? The Chicago. No. I'm gonna name a couple coaches. If you didn't ask the Chicago Bears coach,
Matt Nagy.
If you didn't ask Matt Nagy, if you didn't ask the Jets coach, if you didn't ask the Houston Texans coach, if you didn't ask Bill O'Brien when he was messing up the organization in Houston, if you didn't ask, let's see, what another one of those terrible teams out there. The Giants. If you didn't ask Joe Judge, wait a minute. If you didn't ask, watch this. Mark is not gonna like this one. But if you ain't asked the Clapper, and I'm not talking about the one that give you a STD. I'm talking about the Clapper that came out of Dallas. Jason, you didn't ask him. Asking Mike Tomlin is highly disrespectful. Matter of fact, you know how disrespectful this is, Justin? They asked Herb Meyer. I remember after week 3, they was saying Herb Meyer should go to USC. I remember that report. I'm like, golly, they tried to get him out the NFL before he even gets started. He that terrible? Good God Almighty! And then you go and have the unmitigated gall to ask Mike Tomlin, a guy who's coaching one of the most prestigious. Yeah. One of the most prestigious, we talk about pedigree, prestigious teams in all of sports. The Pittsburgh Steelers would be ranked on in prestige number what in the NFL of all time? What, number 3, 4?
Hot mic.
I think that's Justin listening. But number 3. He would be number 3 on the list. I mean, hottest coaching place in the NFL, and you want him to go to USC, where these guys may not even be bowl eligible. They damn sure not close to no national championship. Like, I don't understand. Please explain why you would even ask him that. Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. It makes no sense whatsoever. And my question to you, Justin, since you asked this question, I'm going to ask one for you. I love the fire start, sir. Would you say Mike Tomlin is more established and more accomplished than Andy Reid and Sean Payton? Tread lightly.
Won a Super Bowl and lost one. Has never had a losing season. Ever. It's like
be careful. Be careful, Marcus. Be careful, Justin. Be careful. Would you say that he's more accomplished and more decorated than those two?
Now, Andy Reid and Sean Payton?
Yeah.
I don't know if I think it's about the same. I mean, Andy Reid got his chops with the 49ers and Packers. He comes from that Mike Holmgren tree. So,
Oh, no. We ain't talking about trees, Marcus. We ain't talking about trees because in the fall, them leaves fall off the trees, baby. And in the winter, they ain't even nowhere heir apparent. I ain't talking about trees, Marcus. I'm talking about what you've done. I'm talking about literally. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. How many Super Bowls Sean Payton been to?
1.
How many Super Bowls Andy Reid been to?
2.
2, right?
He been to 2.
Would you say that Mike Tomlin's been more consistent? Would you say Mike Tomlin's been more consistent than Andy Reid? Obviously, Sean Payton is out of the conversation.
Again, I think Andy Reid.
But Sean Payton revolutionized offenses. No one says, let's
listen. With Andy Reid, 4 NFC championship games in a row. He went to the NFC championship 4 times in a row. So look, that's not to diminish anything to Mike. I think Mike Tomlin is highly underappreciated. I think he's highly underappreciated, but I don't know. I would give the slight edge to Andy Reid. Slight. They both went to a Super Bowl. Both won one. Both lost one. Andy Reid, since he's been at KC, has been outstanding. Outstanding. Now, again, I said Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. So, I mean, that's got to count for something.
Let's just remember. Let's remember now that when Andy Reid left Philadelphia, they won the Super Bowl. Now, let's not act like
I'm sorry. I was correct, and they're right. I didn't think about it. Andy Reid's been to 3 Super Bowls. Remember, he lost one with KC, won one with KC, and then he lost one with the Eagles. So he's been to 3 Super Bowls. So I got to get a slight edge to Andy Reid. Slightly.
Okay.
Slightly.
I can respect it, but all I'm saying is you ain't asked him. You ain't asked Sean Payton. That's my point. Mike Tomlin is either in between or right there with it.
And the other thing too, Andy Reid is about a McDouble away from having. He's got some serious physical issues. I'll just leave it at that. And he's like damn near 70 years old. Ain't he? How old is Andy Reid? Like in his late 60s. Mike Tomlin's what, like mid 50s, early 50s, mid.
Yeah, he one of the oldest. Pete Carroll, I think, is older than him though.
But you got to look at it.
But not to get off subject.
But you got to look at why. The Pittsburgh Steelers are struggling. Yes, the Kansas City Chiefs are struggling also. The Saints are 4-2. Yes, they're not great, but they're 4-2.
What's the Steelers record? Like 3-4, 4-3, something like that?
But they're on the back end of a career that's going to end this year. And we all know what's going to happen next year. He's going to have his first losing season.
No, he's not. I don't think he is. Let me check again. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they reload. They don't just fall off of a cliff. The Pittsburgh Steelers, listen. Look. Number one, they're going to have one of the highest salary cap situations out there. Okay, you look at their star players; they're all young kids. TJ Watt, how's TJ Watt? He just got paid. He's young. Their running back, Najee Harris, is 22. How old is Chase Claypool and Juju Smith-Schuster? How old is Pat Freiermuth? He's 22, 23. Claypool's 22, 23.
Marcus, can I make a hot take right here?
Go ahead.
Can I make a hot take right here?
Go ahead.
If the Miami Dolphins, who want to be so selective right now, as far as that young man in Houston, a certain Deshaun Watson, if I was the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would make a run right at Deshaun Watson, let him sit out the whole rest of the year, because he's gonna get suspended. Sit out the whole rest of the year.
Yeah.
Let Big Ben play out his last year.
Yeah.
And Deshaun Watson would be starting next year for my Pittsburgh Steelers. That way, I ain't got to rebuild.
You know what? You know what I would do?
I can pick right back up.
Exactly. You know what I would do? I would package to Houston a first round pick, a first round pick,
package him up,
and Minka Fitzpatrick.
If I'm Pittsburgh, I give them 3 first rounders.
I'll give them 3. I'll give you Dwayne Haskins, Minka Fitzpatrick, and a first round pick for Deshaun Watson.
Nobody wants Dwayne Haskins.
I'm just saying. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick. You don't think Minka Fitzpatrick could go over there and do some damage? And you put Deshaun Watson with Chase Claypool and Deontay Johnson and maybe Juju Smith. I don't know if Pat Freiermuth is going to be a superstar. They just got to get rid of Eric.
With the way the Pittsburgh Steelers is built. I'm willing to give up 3 first rounders.
You give Deshaun Watson, Najee Harris, and Chase Claypool on offense?
That's nasty.
I'm telling you, man.
That's nasty.
I'll say it again. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm willing to give up 3 first rounders. I don't even need to give up Minka Fitzpatrick.
No,
I'm giving up 3 first rounders.
I ain't giving up.
Want to know why? Because
all of them gonna be late first round. All of them.
I got a great right. Exactly. There's my other point. All of them are going to be late first rounders. First and foremost, number one. Secondly, number two. I got one of the best coaches in the NFL. I got a great foundation behind it. And Pittsburgh isn't too bad at drafting any damn way. So,
and again, they drafted a bunch of young offensive linemen. My co-host says that those young offensive linemen are starting to jail. You got Najee Harris, who's 22 years old. You got Chase Claypool, who's 23 years old. You got Pat Freiermuth, who's 22, 23 years old. I mean, all of your future weapons are all kids. And you give them Deshaun Watson, look out.
It's go time.
Look out.
It's go time.
Look out.
It's go time.
We shall see.
I would do it. If I was the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would do it.
I'd do it too.
All right. Well, I mean, this is coming toward the end of our show, but I do want to, while I have Dre on the air, I do want to get his take of this week, the first week of the NBA season. What's been your biggest surprise thus far?
The conversation that's being had about Russell Westbrook. Ooh, Marcus the alphabet. And I know I don't need a co-signer, but Marcus the alphabet. I could have swore I know you've heard me on multiple shows talk about this one Russell Westbrook. And everybody keep on trying to big up because he's the triple-double king. Did I not say that was going to be a problem going to LA with a certain somebody who loves the ball in his hand all the time? Did I not say this?
That style of play is not going to fly for very long in LA. It's not. And as far as those triple doubles, I got 2 words for you. You ready? Empty calories.
Empty calories. I got 2 words. No rings. No rings.
Come on, man. So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Look, man, you can eat 5 bags of potato chips, man, and they have no nutritional value whatsoever. That's what Russell Westbrook is. It's like you're like, Marcus, I'm hungry, bro. Here's 5 bags of chips, bro. Here's 5 bags of chips.
Marcus,
bro,
Marcus, here go the chips right here.
Yeah.
Doritos.
I need some foods from the food pyramid, man. I need some vegetables, man. I need some green vegetables. I need some meat and poultry. I can't just sit up and live off of. That's what it is, man. It looks really good, you know. He got 20 points and 10 rebounds and 10 assists, and then take an L by 15. Empty calories.
You gotta give it time. You gotta give it time. It always takes time when these superstars get together to get camaraderie. So you just gotta give it time, man. Y'all are judging way
Justin,
too early.
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question real quick? Hold on, Marcus. I got this one. I got Justin on this one. Marcus, I think you remember Victor Oladipo, right?
Yeah.
You remember Carmelo Anthony? You remember Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
You remember? Oh, hold on. Do I need to keep going? You remember James Harden? You remember Serge Ibaka? You remember Etna's cancer? You remember all those guys? Remember Paul George? How much time, Justin? How much time, Justin, is what I'm going to ask you? How much? Hold on. Wait a minute. You remember Bradley Beal? You remember Bradley Beal? How much time, Justin? The real question is, how much time is it going to take before they decide to want to either part ways from Russell Westbrook, or Russell Westbrook leaves the team because he don't fit the team? Because that's all I've been seeing for the last 8 years with all those triple doubles. I see a whole bunch of superstars leaving, or he leaving, whichever one. I mean, how much time, Justin, is you giving Russell Westbrook to be on the team? I just want to know. 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons. I mean, we could go to the 5 seasons, but that's gonna cost you.
He'll be there as long as LeBron is.
Five bags of potato chips. 5 bags.
Okay. All right, Justin. You said it. To give him some time now. I just want to remind you his resume too. Every team he done been on, I want to remind you his resume. Russell Westbrook, since Kevin Durant left the Oklahoma City Thunder,
ran him out of town.
Westbrook, since he left the Oklahoma City Thunder, since Kevin Durant left, has only made the second round once.
Let's not
every other round
what he did in Washington last year, because last year Washington without him is not a playoff team. Don't get it twisted.
Can I ask you a question, sir? No. Whoa. Wait a minute, Marcus. Justin. You put that, Justin. How dare you? You know, Justin. You are my brother, and I love you to death. But how dare you sit up here and tell that blasphemous story right now, talking about if Russell Westbrook wasn't on the team last year, then what would that team be? Can I ask you a question? Wasn't the Washington Wizards in a better place when John Wall was there with Bradley Beal? Didn't they make it to the playoffs?
And what's John Wall doing now? Could John Wall do that last year and make the playoffs? No. John Wall can't even make a starting roster at this point in his career.
I'm going to tell you this.
Be disrespectful with
John Wall would be a better fit. Oh, no. John Wall would be a better fit for the Lakers right now than Russell Westbrook.
John Wall
right now
can't play on the worst team in the NBA, the Houston Rockets. What makes you believe that he is going to all of a sudden be a better fit in Washington, make the playoffs last year in Washington?
Justin, you wouldn't. Hold on, Justin. Me, you, nor Marcus Betts would have been able to play on that Houston Rockets team last year. Nobody would have been able to play on that Houston Rockets team. And nobody. Don't you? I ain't letting you get away with that. That new coach, all them dismal players. Name me 2 players you remember off the Houston Rockets last year. Name me 2. Give me 2. You can't give me 2. You can't even give me 1. That's why. Marcus, he can't give me 1. You want to know why? Because they was just absolutely terrible. John Wall, they lucky they won 20 games last year with John Wall on the team.
Why couldn't he start on that team that no one can name names off of?
Because
John Wall didn't.
Because he's a shell of himself. That's why. He's an absolute.
He's a shell.
Not just an absolute shell of himself. I like how y'all. You know what, Justin? You would love to draw. You know what? You would love to draw that narrative up. Oh yeah, he ain't good enough to play. He ain't good enough to start on no team. You would love to draw that narrative up. But the real deal is, John Wall didn't want to play for them. He didn't want to play. You know it. I know it. This is what you know. What else know it? That belt back there that say NBS with no heartbeat. Even know that. He even know that John Wall didn't want to play with Houston last year. You know that.
Anyway, all right. Well, we got 5 more minutes left in the show. But before we go, I want to get your take real quick. Who you got in this World Series, man? Starts tonight. I don't even know the score of the first game, but who you got, man? You got the Astros, or you going with the Braves?
ATL. By the way, shout out to Brian Sandberg. By the way, I actually got to meet him. He's in one of the guys in the Houston Astros management for that organization. When the Toronto Blue Jays was playing here, we got to watch the Houston Astros full effect. I don't like cheaters, and I hope they get swept. I hope they get their boots smoked. I hope the Atlanta Braves, the team that I was watching when I was 12, 13, 14, right on TBS. You remember when they had John Smokes, Tom Glavine, they had Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, Fred McGriff. Oh, yes. David Justice. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. You remember all that. I want the Atlanta Braves. I want the Atlanta Braves. I want to see Chipper Jones and all of them run out on the field because the Atlanta Braves is about to win the World Series. Give it to them.
I'm going Braves too, man. If anybody knows me, first of all, I don't like cheaters, like you said. You know, smash the trash can all you want. I live in Texas, but I ain't going for no Houston Astros. And I love the underdog. I love the fact that they haven't been in the World Series since 1999. I mean, it's been a long time. This franchise. I love the underdog. I love a team that comes up and never won or hasn't won in a very long time. And so I'm going for the
Without giving
Braves,
up my
man.
age, I was in high school.
Yes, I was a Braves fan back then, and I mean I haven't been a fan recently. I can't bandwagon and act like this has been all along, but I'm gonna go for the Braves. I'm not a Houston Astros fan. I hate the Astros, so go Braves.
Ramon, my co-host, he says Astros. I'm sorry, Mona. I just saw it. I was sitting over here arguing with somebody. I see you, Mona. Mona says Astros going to win.
Oh, right. Oh no! Come on, Ramona.
All right. Well, guys, this comes to the end of the show. I want to give y'all your shout outs, man. You first.
No. Hold on, Justin. I love being on this show, but can I do something real quick?
Of course.
Can I do something real quick on your show?
Of course.
I want to end the show with a little bit of fire. Ramona Die. I want to issue you a baseball challenge. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Die Hard versus the 5-starter. We ain't never did it before. It's gonna happen. Maybe it'll happen for the first time ever. I want you, if the Atlanta Braves win the World Series, I want you to put the Atlanta Braves on the back of your profile picture. Now, if the Astros win, I have no problem putting them cheaters on the back of my profile picture.
She said no.
I want to know.
She said no. I don't do bets. She said hell no.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. We ain't betting for money. I just want the profile pic. I want the profile. The Atlanta Braves would look good with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
She said, I'm a Dodgers fan and I hate the Astros. She said, hell no.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus.
Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all tune into the Alphabet.
Well, I tried.
Y'all tune into the Alphabets Football Show Friday night, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with my lovely co-host, Ramona Die Hard, the Rise Up family. If you need some of this hot gear that you see me and Dre with, get at me, hit me in my inbox. We'll get you squared away. I got some hoodies and shirts and stuff coming. And check us out on Friday nights. Check out the Rise Up family. We got a bunch of stuff. Me and Dre, we be into a bunch of stuff. And this lovely lady that's raising hell in the comment section, that's my co-host, man. She knows her stuff. She went 14-0 in picks, not this week, but the week before.
Wow.
She went 14-0 in her picks. So, man, she's not to be trifled with. But, man, we appreciate the invite. Appreciate
not at all.
Anytime, Rise Up family. Anytime the Rise Up family can come through and do a collabo with you guys, man, I'm here, man. I'm down for it.
Appreciate
it. What you got, Dre?
For sure. We love NBS, baby. We love NBS Central. That's all I'm going to say. Shout out to the Rise Up family. I know what it is, man. We love positivity. We love coming together. Unity and community is what it is, baby. I love it. I love it. We back to sports talk, baby. That's what I like.
Awesome.
Thank you again, Justin.
On behalf of the NBS brand, I want to thank y'all for coming on last minute. I know sometimes that can be hard, but I certainly appreciate y'all coming on. It's been a pleasure. We always love y'all coming on. And anytime y'all want to come on, y'all are welcome. Everybody who watched our show, we appreciate it. Check out these guys on Rise Up, man. They are doing some stuff over there on Facebook. Check out their their Facebook page. Like, share, watch their shows. Check out all y'all fans. Please come watch the content we're doing. We're doing lots of things. We've got lots of shows on.
Absolutely.
We love to have y'all on anytime y'all want, man. So I want to thank everybody there. I want to thank Truex, Keo, everybody in the NBS brand. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I always have to thank him every time I'm on here. I want to thank everybody who supports our brand, man, and it supports us as personal human beings. And like you said, it's always about positivity, coming together, loving one another, please, please, spread, support positivity in this world. If we can do more positive stuff, this world will be a better place. And on behalf of NBS and Rise Up, I want to thank y'all again and peace.
All right.